In today's video, we are going to talk about a very specific business problem. And this is what to do with leads and prospects that you started the work with them, but they disappeared along the way, or they are just not ready yet. This is automation number 5 from the top 20 CRM automations in the World Book. And we are going to analyze the problem. We are going to present the solutions to this problem. And of course, how you can implement it in your own CRM. Let's begin with the problem. The problem is that about 41% of your leads and prospects are not ready yet, not responsive, or you just can't progress the deal at the same point. In most businesses that we are working with, they will ignore those leads. Whenever someone is not responding for some time, they will disappear. Now, if you think about the problem, you will have two different buckets. Bucket number 1 will be people that are just not ready yet, which means waiting for funding. They need more time. They need approval. Maybe they have other problems that are more urgent, but they do need your solution. And if you will not be in front of them, they will go somewhere else. Another group of people, they started the journey with someone else, but at some point, they will see that those people are not a great fit, and then they will go back into the search process. So you have about 41% of the people that come into your business that have very good chance to recover them and bring them back into the process. From our experience, it's about 15% of the leads that are not ready yet will become deals in the future. It's a huge number. Imagine adding 15% to your revenue. And for the people that are not sure where I brought those numbers, I did some research online and I found different numbers. This is from Vorsight, which obviously you can check it out. The numbers are all over the place, but the bucket of not ready yet, or maybe it's a big bucket that you need to attract. Now, the bucket of not ready yet, it's a big bucket. You will have lots of different people there. What I would like to do is understand why those people came to the bucket from the first place. Let's assume that you have someone that came to this bucket and they requested Botox service, but that will be Botox for medical purposes. Okay, some people will have jaw problems, and with Botox, they can ease the pain. So let's assume that someone came with this request. Whenever this person is ignoring you or is just in the bucket of not ready yet, you would like to attract them with a drip campaign or any other type of marketing, which we are going to talk about it in a second, that is specific for their problem. What we see in the market are 3 different types of businesses. The majority, they do nothing. And this is the majority. The second group, which is better, still not good, but better, they will have one drip campaign that will attract everyone. Which means if I came with jaw problem, which is medical, they will send me beauty services because this is part of their business. And that's a problem. Because I came as a male coming with a jaw problem for medical purposes, and because it's part of their Botox services, they will send me any type of beauty services. So obviously I will click on unsubscribe and remove them from my email. The third group, which is rare to find, will analyze where I came from. And if I came from jaw medical services and the solution will be Botox, they will have a full campaign that is helping me understand that they are the best company in the world to help me with my jaw problem. The entire campaign is just talking about this specific service, case studies, any kind of information that is going to help me understand that I need to trust them because they are the best. Now, when someone starts your drip campaign or your marketing campaign to try to win them back, you will have two types of businesses that we are going to talk in a second. But the idea is that you need to provide a very specific message for each one of them. If you will work with companies that are commodity based, for example, a company that sells iPhones, I will buy the iPhone from them or someone else, it will be the same iPhone. In that case, if it's a commodity, the price will be the main factor. But if it will be a service, let's assume my company, Zoho Development Services, AI services, stuff that we do every day. In those cases, the trust is what will make a difference. The price will not be significant in this case. Okay, so commodity-based businesses, you need to go with great offers. And when you are going with services, you need to push hard on the value. So I will trust the brand and I will say, I need to be crazy not to work with this company. Now, whenever people trying to attract their customers, they will have different ways to do that. One of the ways will be sending drip campaigns. And that will be the majority of the companies out there will choose drip campaigns because it's inexpensive. You set it once and it's being sent all the time. So drip campaigns, probably I would recommend any business out there. The second type of marketing asset will be events. Scheduling a physical or online event about the specific problem. If we are on the Botox, a doctor or a plastic surgeon or someone that is an authority that will speak about the problem and the solutions, and the conversion rate from those are insane. Another way will be writing a book, being an authority in the industry, creating videos, courses, anything that you can become an authority in the eyes of your customers and prospects. Another beautiful way is to try to target people digitally on their physical location. For example, if I will have a prospect that is really important, I will try to target their zip code with an advertisement, with the hope that they will search my service and then they will go with it. Sometimes there is also a way to target their email address. Okay, there are lots of ways to target specific people. And the last one will be signage in front of their office. I can tell you that in the old days, long time ago, I used to have an architect's portal where architects can present their work. When I started the company, I couldn't get anyone to buy my product. I went to architects and I offered them to be subscribers on my platform so they can present their work, and in return they will get customers. The result was that I was going from office to office and getting no every day. With the last money that I had, like really the last money, if that will not work, the business is done. I bought a street signage in a street that all the architects live in. So this is a very commercial area for architects, designers, and so on. I took the signage, the project name A&D, Architectural and Designers, and I just wrote the brand name, and that was a signage for 2 weeks. Before the 2 weeks over, I started again to go to the first office and so on, the ones that already rejected me. And when I came to the office and I say, hey, I'm from A&D, and they said, oh, you know what, I know you guys. Which obviously it's because they saw the signage every morning. Okay, and then this project started to work and eventually it was successful enough that I was able to sell it. The goal is to try to attract the bucket of maybe later with whatever you can and try to recover as much as you can. Only with drip campaigns, you should get between 10 to 15% more conversions just by that. And if you're doing great job on the drips, you will probably get much better numbers. When you are trying to use all the different ways to convert people, you need to track it. And this is automation number 15, I think. We'll get to it at some point. The idea is to track each campaign and each option to know if what you created actually works. And the way that you know if it works is not measuring it based on leads. Leads are completely useless. I want to check it based on money coming into my bank account, which means I am putting effort into marketing assets that's supposed to win back the maybe later. And in return, I want to know if those efforts that eventually there are money that I'm spending on manpower, software licenses, and so on, if those are converting into business, money in the bank account. And once you have all that, you can start behaving as a serious company. Now, let's go back to the drip campaigns. And let's talk only about drips because this is something that most businesses will go there. Whenever you are working with drip campaigns, you don't only want to measure it, you want maybe to change course between drips. As an example, let's assume that I will have a drip for medical Botox. Not sure why I chose this topic, but anyway, medical Botox. The moment that I'm sending the first campaign to people that disappeared, I would like to see that they are interacting with my content. For example, I will send a bunch of emails, one after the other, a week apart, 2 weeks apart, whatever it is, and I will send those drips with some offers or some value or read articles. The moment that someone clicks on one of my articles, the system is receiving a note that someone opened this specific email or maybe clicked on the article that I sent. At that moment, I am shifting the drip campaign from campaign that's trying to build knowledge to campaign that's supposed to build trust. So all the emails that will come from now on will be just how great is the surgeon that I'm working with and he's going to do the injection, and why a medical professional surgeon is a much better option than a nurse, because damages that nurses did in those kind of injections to other people, statistics, whatever it is, to try to win back the person to go now with a surgeon. And maybe when someone is interacting with this content, I will shift to unbeatable offers. First treatment for free, 50% of whatever it is. But you are building it step by step and trying to understand the person that sits in front of the offer. Now, this entire thing obviously lives in the CRM. Whenever you are working in the CRM, you will have a closed lost, which is in the opportunity, or a lead lost on the lead system. In both of those cases, whenever the closed loss is being clicked, the marketing campaign system, if it's Zoho, it will be Zoho campaigns, will get automatic trigger to initiate the campaign. And whenever someone interacts with it in Zoho campaign or any other campaign system, based on the signal, based on the click of reading the article, for example, you can automatically tell the system to shift the campaign to a different campaign. And whenever someone is buying something, the system will know about it. And maybe those drips will stop and a different drip will continue. Now, it's very important to understand that everything I'm telling you now was tested in the past 12 or 13 years. Those are things that are actually working, and we see businesses succeeding to bring more revenue because of them. So if you want to grow your business, I recommend you doing that. Now, this is automation number 5 from the book. If you don't have the book yet, I really recommend you to get it. There are a bunch of great ideas there that lots of people spend lots of time designing them. And by having the book, you will be able to understand all the different automations that we have. And you will be able to get the ideas and how to work with your developers or yourself to implement them. Thank you very much for watching this video. I will see you next week with automation number 6.